This is the story. You can open your eyes now. This is the story of the very first Christmas, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, many, many years ago. Now, Mary and Joseph lived in a little village called Nazareth. Joseph was a carpenter. He made things out of wood. Joseph was busy in his workshop one day, and Mary was busy in the kitchen. The little donkey was dozing outside when something very special happened. Now the king wanted to know how many people lived in his land. So he sent a soldier to Mary and Joseph.
You've got to go to Bethlehem to be counted.
Bethlehem was a long, long way from Nazareth, and there weren't any cars and buses in those days. Mary was going to have a baby very soon. Well, they had to get to Bethlehem somehow, and all they had was a little donkey. So Joseph said that Mary could ride on the donkey, and he would walk along to Bethlehem beside her. So off they went along the road. When they got to Bethlehem, it was dark, and Bethlehem was very crowded. But they needed to find somewhere to stay for the night. So Joseph knocked on the door of an inn. The innkeeper came to the door, and Joseph said to him,
May we stay at your house? May we stay at your house? May we stay at your house? Children marry us.
but the innkeeper said,
When we look above the table on the back.
so the innkeeper took his lantern and he showed Mary and Joseph across to the stable. Joseph and Mary settled themselves down in the stable for the night, and the innkeeper went back to his inn to look after the rest of his guests.
That night, baby Jesus was born.
Laid him in the manger because he had no other bed. On a dark hillside just outside Bethlehem, shepherds were looking after their sheep.
and find him.
In a far country to the east, wise men were studying their books, and in their books they read that a baby would be born, a baby who would bring peace to the world, and they would know where to find him because a bright new star would appear in the sky. The three kings kept watching the sky, and one night the star appeared.
Now we'll all sing away in a manger.
You did very well. Well done, Andrew. Who have we got under here? Gary Knowles. Well done, Gary. Who's this one? Come back a bit. David. This is Peter. No, sorry, I'll get it wrong. Liam Brindle. This is David. And here we've got Stephen. Just mind I don't tell on this King. Can I come past you, King? Who have we got under this headdress? Peter Heeks. Well done, Peter. And Liam Thornton. Got it right that time. And Alex, who managed not to cough all the way through. Well done, Alex. Here's Leandro. There's Leandro under his shepherd's headdress. Who have we got here? Darren Mallion. Well done, shepherds. Can you take a bow for the mummies, please? Take a bow, shepherds. We go to Mrs. Robinson. Shepherds go to Mrs. Robinson. Oh, I've missed one. Oh, I've missed this one. Here's Christopher still here. And I've missed another. Come on, Darren. We missed Darren as well. You were sitting so quietly at the back. Thank you, boys. Off you go to Mrs. Robinson. Carefully when you don't fall over the grass. another one. I don't think we said you, did I, William? Right, off you go to Mrs. Roberts. Come on, Shepherd. Come on, William. Come on, Shepherd, you go to Mrs. Robinson now. Come on. Right, now we'll have all the angels. Come on, angels. Oh, with you. Oh, it near angels. Tree. Come on. Now, our angels were a bit thin on the ground, as you can see, because we lost two part way through. Let's have a look who we've got. We've got Lauren Thornton, who was very brave, because she didn't really want to do it. But at the last minute, she changed her mind, didn't she? Catherine Ledger. I have to think when we've had sisters. Well done, Catherine. And Gemma, didn't she do well with all those things she had to remember? Well done, Gemma. And Laura Sims. Well done, Laura. And Catherine Butler. And here's Hannah Neal, who also did very well. Give them all a big clap. Can you bow? Lovely. Off you go to Mrs. Robinson now. Right, now we'll have the three kings and the soldier and the innkeeper. Come on, kings. Can you get up, Sam? They look very smart in these beautiful jewelled crowns. This is Sam under this crown. And they get extremely hot. You can feel the heat going through their heads. Who have we got here? Robert Cowan, am I right? Who have we got here? John Franco. He made a very splendid king, didn't he? And under this cooking foil lid is the little soldier who did extremely well. And our innkeeper, a girl this time. Equal opportunities in this place. Well done, Amy Nixon. Give them a round of applause. Off you go to Mrs. Robinson. I think he's stage struck. Right, let's have Mary and Joseph and the donkey and the star. I think we'll just have to rescue Joseph. This tells me. Just rescue Joseph. Hang on. Oh, wait. Shake it off. I looked your foot up. Oh dear, we're in a mess. There, are we free? Not quite. Lift your foot up. That's it. There we are. Come on, donkey. And the star. Now, this is Kelly Sullivan who's the star, and if the star doesn't set off at the right time, then the three kings don't get to Bethlehem. So she did very well. Now here's Stephen, our lovely little donkey, with rosy cheeks. And didn't he make a very caring Joseph? This is Christopher. And Amy Haslett, who sang beautifully by herself. Well done, Amy. Give them one. Mrs. Robinson, now please, all of you. We'll just reorganise the stage with songs for you. If you know the words, you can join in. If you don't know the words, you can allow. So first of all, we're going to start with I'm a Little Bell. Everybody listen. Are you ready? Right, Mrs. Strong. We'll start again. I think we blew that one. Right, Christopher. I'm a little bell. I'm a little bell.
Hanging on a tree, see the
Amy. Right, we'll all sing now Who Is Coming on Christmas Night. Anybody sing the Jingle Bells? All's well.
And me.
I've only got two for this one. Up together. Wait for the music. Jingle Bells. Breath for this one. And the mummies can join in this because it's easy. We'll tell you the chorus. I need breakfast. This is all right. All the things that would like to happen on Christmas Day. Mrs. Robinson says she needs oxygen. Now it starts off with, on Christmas Day, we'll have a tree. And it will snow for you and me. And you can all sing that because it's easy. And we'll sing the bits in the middle. Ready all together on Christmas Day?
I
sing one verse by themselves, so they can all join. Ooh, they can all sing the last verse. It goes like this. We'll all eat pudding, we'll all eat pudding, and we'll go yum, 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 yum. Right, so let's listen to the mummies singing that. Are you ready? And the daddies. We'll all eat pudding, we'll all eat pudding, and we'll go yum, 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 yum. We'll all eat pudding. We'll all eat pudding, and we'll go yum, 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 yum. On Christmas Day, hey, 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 we'll have a tree, and it will snow, ho, 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 for you and me. On Christmas Day, hey, 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 we'll have a tree, and it will snow, ho, 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 ho. Oh, I think the mums deserve a clap for that. Right, the very last one now. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We all like singing pudding. We all like singing pudding. We all like singing pudding. So bring some out here. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring some out here. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Right, Liam, what do you say now? Okay, we can hear him. Can you shout it, Liam? Come up to me. I'll remind you what you have to do.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Thank you very much. You did very well, didn't you? Thank you.
Channel 4, and a tale of two cities and their football clubs, divided by religion, united by the game.
Northern Ireland's second city has a dual identity. To Ulster's Protestants, it is Londonderry. To their Catholic counterparts, it is simply Derry. It is a city with a passion for football, whose attention is focused south towards Dublin. Last May, its streets were cleared for a cup final across the border in the Irish Republic. Every time Derry City play away, they return home through a military checkpoint.
Well rehearsed move by Derry City, very nearly bringing its reward. Carey got underneath that. Coyle. Carey's again, and it's there! And Felix Healy has got the breakthrough. And Cork, who were put under terrible pressure again in the air, found no answer to Felix Healy coming from the deep.
Celebrating the cup final victory is lifelong Derry City fan and former civil rights leader Eamon McCann.
Derry's a city which is sort of cherished by nationalists in the north precisely because it was the centre of injustice and the place where the civil rights struggle began 20 years ago. And at the same time, of course, it's cherished for much longer standing reasons by the Protestant community. Has been hit at the siege of Derry 300 years ago and the rest of it. So it's a sacred city, if you like, to both sides. And Catholics and Protestants, and not to sentimentalise it too much, share an affection for Derry, perhaps for contradictory reasons, but nevertheless, that has a curiously ambivalent effect on relationships between Catholics and Protestants.
Ambivalence reflects the city's relationship with its football team. Derry is split down the middle. On the right bank of the River Foyle, the Protestant community. On the left, the Catholic, with 70% of the population and the city's one football team. The club's fortunes mirror the city's involvement in long years of trouble. It was founded to bring unity, but became a casualty of the conflict when a group of masked youths took away and burnt the team bus of Ballymena United. The football club was exiled. Northern Ireland's Protestant clubs refused to play in Derry. In 1972, the year of Bloody Sunday, Derry City Football Club went out of business. For 13 years, their home ground, the Brandywell, on the edge of the Catholic bogside, lay empty. Yet today, it's celebrating success unprecedented in its history, a focus for Catholic pride.
Identity, of course, is a very problematical thing here in the north of Ireland, and the nationalist identity in Derry has been a very problematical thing down through the ages. To try to assert sort of this nationalist identity has involved violence and pain and death and destruction and all the rest of it. To be able to assert the identity in the context of soccer in a way that's exuberant and joyful and relatively inoffensive, to be able to do that made a lot of sense, and there's a great deal of joy involved sort of in being able to do that.
Lisfannon Beach, County Donegal, just 8 miles over the border from Derry. Only 5 of the team are full-time professionals. The rest have to train when work allows. Not only do they prepare for their games in another country, they also play in that country, the Republic of Ireland.
People said this absolutely couldn't be done because you can't have a club in one jurisdiction playing in the league of another, no precedent and all the rest of it. To Derry people, this didn't seem a barrier at all. It seemed odd to them that this should be considered problematical by anybody else. So the border has never been as big a barrier in the minds of Derry people as it has been in the minds of Irish people generally.
In 1985, the football team bridged that barrier when they were welcomed by the Republic. It was a move the club made reluctantly. For 13 years, they repeatedly tried to rejoin the Northern League. They were rejected each time. The club went south as the only option available. The plan was put together by a group of 4 former players. A prime mover was ex-Derry City goalkeeper Eddie Marn.
We always felt, as a football community, that Belfast weren't giving us a fair crack at the whip. And I think that lingered on, and when the situation re Derry City and the FAA came to a crux, I think the decision to go south was a lot easier than it would have been in a normal situation.
Like the corners of my mind, misty water, colored memories of the way we were, scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another, of the way we were.
The people in the south don't really know the northern people, and through the football they're getting to know them, and the Derry people who support Derry City are travelling all over Ireland, so therefore we're ambassadors for Derry, and just to show them that we're not really all hooligans and we don't all run around with guns and petrol bombs and things like that, you know, that the real supporters are real supporters.
We shall remember.
Tony Cosworth, who took it in, put it away. Bryce Goran on his own end line. A corner now at the other end for Derry. We had a mediocre first half. Let's hope for brighter things. Healy drifting it in. Headed away by Pollard. Under the breeze. Martinson.
What about the flags and all? Special offer in the flags, $1.99. All reductions today. Flags $1.99. The banana special offer today, we're reducing $2.50 today. We have 100 this morning, we think exactly 8 left.
The career of Derry's favourite footballing son is as checkered as the city. Felix Healy's run as a Northern Ireland player ended when he made the sign of the cross at an international.
I did something at Windsor Park that really, I think, the powers that be would say was unforgivable. And I was never ever selected again after that. I don't know whether the thing at Windsor had anything to do with it or not, but you will always be suspicious because of what sometimes football in the north, you know, the ins and outs of it, and the politics of certain things. And if it happened to me, I wouldn't have been the first that it ever happened to, and it probably won't be the last. Derry has always been football crazy throughout the years, but I think since they come back into the League of Ireland, it's been more than football. It's been
it's sort of in defiance of the IFA, Belfast, the establishment, call it whatever you like. It is more than just about football. It's a political thing, if you like. It's a whole lot of different things all rolled together. It's just more than about football nowadays, which is unfortunate, really. But that doesn't detract from the success.
Locally born Jim McLaughlin is the team manager. His football career started with his home team.
Football has been my life ever since I was at school, and my one ambition then was to play football. Fortunately, Derry City started me off after the junior ranks, and after being in the first team in 1958 with Derry for 6 months, I was transferred to England, to Birmingham City.
Jim McLaughlin played for a number of English clubs. After a decade in England, he became a successful manager in the Republic.
And I managed Shamrock Rovers for 3 years, and they were 3 of the most successful years. But sometimes success causes a problem. The kick had gone a little bit, and possibly more important, Derry City had come back into football. And you just felt, well, there's Derry starting. The crowd, the enthusiasm, everything about it. And I just felt that I would like to be part of that. And I wanted to be part of the Derry City scene.
Come on, it's only a matter of getting it right. 2.
Like the club itself, the players straddle the border. 4 of them live in the Republic.
Too much pace, that's all right. Not worried about the execution. 3. Yeah.
The one thing Derry City Football Club is terribly proud of is that it has no political affiliations. It doesn't get involved in politics. I think that's the one great thing about it. Protestant, Catholic, Jewish, anything. There's no religion or political barriers at Derry City Football Club.
It's enough kicking, Stuart.
McLaughlin selects both Catholic and Protestant players.
Derry's cup dream in 1989 is about to die. It's Swan versus Dalton as Bows search for a way through to the next round. And the goalkeeper saves it! A full-length save by the goalkeeper. And oh,
We will follow you wherever you go. We will follow you, 'cause Derry is all we know.
Felix Healy records the latest club song. The record's producer, Richard Moore, was a 10-year-old schoolboy in the troubled year of 1972. An ardent Derry City fan, he was on his way home to the Cregan when he became a victim of the Troubles.
On the way home, I had to pass an army sanger, that's what they called it, just an army lookout post. And what I remember is running up past the army lookout post and looking over at it. And, you know, next thing I remember, waking up on the local school table where I'd been hit by a rubber bullet, you know, on the bridge of the nose. I lost one eye, and the other eye's, as of no use to me now at this stage.
Derry for the cup, Derry for the league, Derry for the double, that's what we need. Derry for the cup, Derry for the league, Derry for the double, that's what we need.
When I grew up and we were playing in the street, there was always somebody that was Charlton, and there was always somebody that was Law and Best. Well, nowadays in the street it was I'm the Gamma, and I'm Christic, and I'm Doolan, and I'm Neville. The young people today relate to Derry City players the way that I used to relate to Manchester United players and Liverpool players.
And now fathers can take their sons away. I mean, before, what would fathers do in the society? Now they say, come on, we'll go to the match. Come on, we'll go down to Dublin, Athlone, wherever it may be. Maybe they get in the car and take their wife and children. So I think family life has benefited from the fact that football has come back.
I don't think that the football club can be a unifying force in the way that people want it to be. It's frequently said that it is, and that's because there is an avid hunger for good news from the north of Ireland. Anything at all which seems to indicate that the problem is being solved almost by accident is seized upon by people in politics and in the media and hyped beyond all belief. The support for Derry City is at least 95% Catholic and nationalist, and that's putting it conservatively.
Derry City's support no longer crosses the religious divide. One lapsed fan is the former leading loyalist, Glenn Barr.
I used to be a disciple of Derry City. I was religiously there on the terraces every Saturday, or if we're away, I went away to most of the away games as well. I played football in my younger days with Jimmy McLaughlin, and he and I were great friends. And I certainly would love to be back in the terraces. I have no doubt that many people would, there'd be no trouble with most of the supporters that are there. But there's always maybe one or two that has always got to be in the crowd. And that's the one or two that you're always concerned about.
There are powerful reasons for Protestants to stay away. Derry City games are on Sundays, against Presbyterian traditions. They play away in the Republic, and the Brandywell is in the nationalist bogside. No police are on duty when they play at home.
Derry haven't had that much to cheer about. I mean, there's been 20 years of troubles. There's been no football. We owe a lot to the four lads that had the foresight to get into the League of Ireland or start senior soccer again. And with it taken off and people being put on their best behaviour by the no police, etc., self-control and discipline, there's a great pride now in being part of that and showing people that, look, we can behave. We're not portrayed, you know, the way they're portrayed wasn't always the best. And so they take great pride in that, and I think it's terribly important when you get something to be proud of.
Throughout their history, Derry City have enjoyed scant success. In 40 years in the Northern Ireland League, they won the title just once. That was a quarter of a century ago. Their crowds then averaged 3,000 to 4,000. They now expect 3 times that. On St. George's Day, Sunday, April 23rd, they will get their biggest crowd for the last match of the season. Their visitors, Cove Ramblers, have travelled 300 miles from the southernmost tip of the island. Derry City are on the brink of the league title. No other team has been league champions of 2 different countries.
No, I don't think you need motivation. I think the crowd motivates you. Once you go out to that crowd, you know you have to play. At the end of the day, your character has to come through, and you have to accept responsibility, and there's pressure on you. But the motivation is there in the crowd. It's the stage that you have to perform on.
At kick-off, Derry City need only a draw to take the league title. Midway through the first half, the breakthrough. Paul Doolin, a player from the Republic, scores. Victory, and the title is secured.
Once the first goal went in, I thought, well, that's more or less it. And the second one went in, I thought, well, there's no problem now. I would say a million things go through your mind. You become rather emotional. You're nearly afraid to express yourself. You're nearly ashamed to feel the way you do. Well, I just felt a very relieved man, maybe, as much as anything. I'm a very rich person in that I've been able to share a success with so many and an awful lot of good people. It's the sharing of the success is the most important thing, and having the people to share with it.
One of the reasons why a lot of Derry people sort of are delighted by the success of the football club is that sort of that success really is it's us thumbing our noses at Belfast or giving them the fingers or whatever, and we quite like being able to do that. We don't get many opportunities.
On the political front, it means that so many people are now associating more so with the south than maybe if we had been playing in the northern side. And therefore, there's no doubt long-term wise, I think that people's political allegiance, if they haven't already changed, would be more associated with Southern Ireland.
With the historic league and cup double assured, the team are rewarded with a civic reception, a celebration for the city to share.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was less than 40 minutes in play yesterday when the man had to pull off the vital save that brought the cup home to Derry. Please welcome Derry City's goalkeeper, Mr. Tim Dawson. The next question is, who put the ball in the cork net? Mr. Felix Healy! Super. Ladies and gentlemen, please cheers for Derry City. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
The fortunes of the football club have seemed to fit into the fortunes of the city itself. I mean, it's to reflect the ups and downs. Derry, being the second city here in the north, like most second cities, has always felt badly done by, and with good reason. The club was, to an extent, always unwanted by the northern football authorities, just as the city was unwanted by the civil and political authorities. The success of Derry City in the last 4 years has been almost like a fairy tale come true. It's been tremendously important for morale. It doesn't change anything, of course, in the real world, but tremendously important for the way people feel about themselves.
Across the city, in the Protestant strongholds, Derry City's success is not shared. The colours are of another team from another country. The toasts for another championship.
You probably all know what happened yesterday, as if I don't have to tell you. So there's anybody sleeping all day or anything like that there? We won the league, so we'll lift your glasses and we'll get a wee... Cheers to the teddy bears.
Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. The best team in the world.
It's